on the phone.
Yeah, we are live now, ma'am.
And we are live.
Yeah, good. So good to go. Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting session of CLS Conversations. First of all, I would like to thank Chandigarh Literary Society for having me and our guest author here today. Before I begin, a little something about me. I am Dr. Nirmal, Director, Janani Fertility Center. I am an infertility specialist working in the field for about 20 years now. And today I will be discussing the magic that motherhood unraveling the book. That is motherhood, of course, unraveling the book Newborns and New Moms, written by my guest author Dr. Farah Adam Mukadam. Like Osho said, when a child is born, a mother is born too. And that's what Dr. Farah has highlighted here. So, hello Farah, how are you?
Hi, Dr. Nirmal. I'm doing great. How are you?
Great, I'm good. Now, I would like to tell the audience a little about you. Dr. Farah Adam
Sure.
Mukadam, who is a family physician from Bengaluru, India, has completed her MBBS from Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, and she holds a diploma in family medicine. She is a mother of two beautiful kids, a 6-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter. She is a consulting physician at Narayana Rudale, right? Am I right?
Yeah, Narayana Hrudale.
Raina Rudale Multi-Speciality Clinic in Bengaluru, and has a special interest in providing breastfeeding and postpartum support to new mothers. She also has a YouTube channel called Momstein, where she often busts myths about contemporary medical aid. And let me tell you, Farah, I would like to first apologize for being judgmental and highly presumptuous because when I was told that I'll be interview Dr. Farah Adam, I thought I would be in conversation with a doctor almost my age or older, who has probably nursed children and plenty of grandchildren of her own and finally thought of retiring and spreading this motherly wisdom. But I was pleasantly surprised to see a doctor just slightly younger than my elder daughter, a hardcore feminist who is a lively family physician does postpartum care, a blogger, a YouTuber, and a mother of two beautiful kids, an empathetic lady with old age wisdom.
Oh
So,
my God.
yes, indeed.
That's such an honor to hear such nice words.
Such an old soul she is, while she has also preserved her childlike nonchalance. So good to have you here, Dr. Farah.
Oh, thank you so much. No one's ever called me that. And it's such an awesome compliment to be called an old soul, I think. Coming right now towards me like that, like, it sounds like such an awesome compliment. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I think without wasting a lot of time on your introduction, of course, there is a lot I can go on and on about you because what I've known you for the past 2 days, I think I can just go on and on. But we have to go to the questions now. So I'm getting right
Sure.
into my pitara of questions. First question
Oh,
is,
great.
what and who inspired you to write this book?
Who inspired me to write this book is nothing inspires you more than your own personal struggles. So, what inspired me to write this book? It's the seed of this book was sown in my mind after I delivered my first kid. That was back in 2014. And there's an echo, Dr. Nirmal. Can you just check? I can hear my voice back.
Okay. That's on Instagram?
Instagram, probably.
No.
Probably. So yeah, what inspired me to write my book was when my son was born. The thing was, I was not prepared at all. I didn't know what to expect. I had the world's smoothest pregnancy, and delivery was a little happening, but after that, it was just I was lost. And that time I realized I had read so many books, so many articles, so many blogs, and there was nothing that prepared me for this. Not my medical training, not my internship, not my practice. Really prepared me for what a jolt postpartum can be. And people have this assumption that pregnancy ho gaya to it's done.
True.
But that's not the case.
And when you
Things
yourself are going through it, your medical education also goes for a ride, you don't even remember anything
Yeah, it
when you're
doesn't
yourself.
matter ye kya doctor kaun doctor doesn't matter. None of it matters. So what I wanted to do is like empower women. And like, where is the book that tells us postpartum is going to be probably the most grueling time of your life? I like to call it, it's like a reality show. the worst reality show you can be on, postpartum. And I was not prepared. I had a lot of bumps. I was There was a lot of bumps, and it was very difficult.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that's what
So can we go
inspired
to?
me, and yeah, that's what inspired me. And the next thing that happened was I did research. I kept reading, and in my second delivery, I was armed with my knowledge, with my experience from my patients between the two babies, and I was ready. Okay, now I can take this head on. And thankfully, I was able to exclusively breastfeed my second born. So that
Okay.
helped me a lot.
So the second child, generally, it is said that it is easier to, nurture the second child. But we'll come to that
Yeah,
later.
I
Maybe you
wouldn't
had your
agree.
different friends.
You're more badass by then. You're like, हाँ, ये पल
Yeah,
जाएगा, ये जिंदा रहेगा, ये
चल
जिंदा
जाएगा.
रहेगा. That's the thing.
And then what was it? The maternal instinct, your personal experience, or it was the deep research that reflects in the minutest details of every step towards the journey of childbirth and post-delivery care.
As I told, it was already my personal struggles. The second thing was the millennial moms that I see in Bangalore. We see a typical, the young 90s born moms, and where do they look for wisdom? Online. Google is God,
Yeah.
right? We are moving away, and we have this thing like, we are more educated than the generation before us. Who are they to say anything? That kind of a mentality was there. So I kind of wanted to bridge the gap and give the ashirwad the internet that needs to give a woman. Go ahead with this practice. And I can't take the usual route of like sending information to US people say giving it
Mhm.
back to us. Like, let's give the
Right.
information directly that we need it. And of course,
True.
I did a lot of research, and I did the research with an open mind that
Mhm.
this practice has stood the test of time. Let's dive in. I did not go to disprove. I went to validate it with science. I went with a neutral mindset. Let's see if it
Mhm.
stands the
Mhm.
test of time or not.
Right. And I actually in the book, I was reading the book and I was actually hooked to it in these 2 days. I was just finding time, and whenever I was free, I would sit down and read it. It was so amazing. And what I have seen that you support the traditional wisdom of our ancestors in a very scientific way. Where does it come from? Although our generation rebuffs it today.
Yeah, the generation rebuffs it, and I was also one of them at one point of time. By the way, when I was in 2014, and they were. I'll give you an example. मेरी मालिश नहीं हुई थी after delivery. Why was that? Because malish, I did not know. There's a science behind it, and a woman needs to get the malish. I did not know that, and we did as doctors. We didn't go behind it. कि करना ही करना है. So, thoda sa, there was a communication gap with the Malish Wali and stuff. So I didn't get Malish, and my body yearned for it after that.
Okay.
1 second, can we just ask Instagram family, is there an echo? Because I can hear an echo.
It's not here. It's not.
Okay. All right, because I could hear, that's why I was asking. Yeah, so the problem was, my body yearned for that pressure wala massage, and then I realized like my body needs it. And after my second delivery, I was very particular about yes, malish karwani hai, and really the recovery was so much better. It was just one example, and there are so many other examples which I did not follow. And just like any other millennial, just like any other doctor,
True.
we need to
Like the
we
chilla,
need
what
to
we
take
call the.
everything with a grain of salt.
Mhm.
Yeah. वो बहुत
Like there is a
दिक्कत है.
tradition called chilla, like 40 days. The woman is not supposed to step out of the house, and even you have mentioned that in your book.
Yes, that's actually very important, because people. I saw so many forums online which said that get out of the house in 1 week, go for a walk, go grocery shopping, and this is while I was researching the book, and in
Mhm.
every culture. you see Spanish culture, Mediterranean culture hai, Chinese culture hai. In China, it is called observing the month. They tell you for 4 weeks you have to be at home like that,
Right.
completely covered. And there is only one culture which kind of like rules our minds, which is, of course, American culture.
Mhm.
And they're always telling you to step out. But rest all the cultures were like, no, you have to be at home. The more I read, I said, more and more ancient cultures are supporting this practice. And then I came across this thing called this is an immune reactivation. Your immune system is suppressed in pregnancy, so that the baby is not aborted. Like babies are foreign body, and when you sit at home, it protects you from innocuous viruses and bacteria. You're kind of protecting yourself because your immunity is reversing. It's not like it's getting back to normal in like this. It's going like this. That is the curve.
True. True.
So,
Yes.
so some women can gradually increase it. Some women's immune system, and you can't predict kiska kaisa jayega. You can't predict
Mhm.
whose immunity. So it's better to stay at home to protect your hyperactive immune system from any stimuli, unnecessary stimuli that you will get from outside. And autoimmunity, it kind of gives a protection against autoimmunity in the future also. Not entirely. There are many other factors, especially genetic factors, are very important, but we cannot absolutely discount environmental factors.
Okay.
So that's the thing. So that's why I spoke about chilla. And then I'll give you an example. Like my husband, once I told him कि पता नहीं ये patients क्यों आ जाते हैं मेरे पास, ये मैंने गरम खाना खा लिया, मेरे बदन में गर्मी हो गई, ठंडा
Yes.
खाना खा लिया, उससे सर्दी हो गई. And I used to like bang my head. ये लोग कैसे क्यों बोलते हैं?
गरम का ठंडा,
Because
हाँ, ये
as
गरम
a
तो
West,
नहीं है, ये दवाई गरम तो नहीं है, ये ठंडी तो yes.
exactly. And as doctors, we were like, ye kya bol diya? And allopathy per se does not support it at all. But Unani, Ayurveda, everyone supports it. So I have given example of soybean being called a thanda khana in my book. And that time I was
Yes.
validating Chinese people also have their customs and they are also right. It's not like hum Indian to Atmanirbhar, we are always right. I wanted to give an opportunity कि सबका local indigenous knowledge is important.
Mhm.
So जो गरम खाना वगैरह के बारे में बात कर रहे थे हम, गरम खाना is it is not necessarily that it's producing heat in your body, right? For example,
Mhm.
soybean का example I gave, it is called a cold food. Why is that? माँ का दूध कम होता है उससे? Yes, it has
Mhm.
estrogen in it. The
Right.
absorption of other minerals reduces? Yes. And the reason, and plus the harvest season of soybean is such that you can consume it only in summers. It blooms in winter,
Mhm.
and the crop can be consumed in summer. And I even talk about how horses can digest soybean only in summer and not in winter. So it is a cold food from that. It's not like there's a temperature increase, there's a metabolism increase. Yeah, there are other things
Right.
in play. That's why I tell you, garam khana, thanda khana hai. That concept is there.
Mhm.
It's just that we have not been able to put a science behind it. So now it sounds all voodooish to us. Even covering the years, while I was researching for the book, I came across a study that when in your pregnancy आपका कान को इतना pressure रहता है that
Mhm.
like this कान में you get too many infections and all.
And
You're
sounds
prone to
also
it.
attend.
This eustachian
Mhm.
tube dysfunction बोलते हैं जो the thing that connects the nose to the ear, and you get respiratory
Yeah.
infections more and more during pregnancy, partly to do with lowered immunity, partly to do with waterlogging in your ENT. So covering of ears, I read a few case studies where while pushing, they had ये जो eardrum है उसके अंदर hole हो गया because of the excess pressure, that exertion that they had to do to push the baby out. So that's why I went deeper into it, and some women यहाँ पे उनको they can go to spasm because like for labor.
Yes.
So
During
when you
labor.
have
Yeah.
the spasm of this muscle, if the ENT will ask you to cover the ear. That's the beauty of
True.
it. The ENT will ask you to cover the ear. When the ENT asks you to cover the ear, it is thumbs up. Nice. When your sas, your
Mother
dadi
is
sas, your ma will tell you, they're like, boo, we are millennials, we need internet. So that was very sad. And I myself, as I mentioned already, I myself was one of them. I believed like, nahi, ye sab bakwas hai. This is just man ghada.
Mhm. Yeah, very. And you gave me also clarity when patients come to me and say, "Ma'am, ये ठंडा है, ये गर्म है." I would always answer, "चाय गर्म होती है, लस्सी ठंडी होती है." So now even I have understood what is the difference. So that would be my answer. Chai is garam, lassi thandi. Now I have
It's
understood
not
after
just about the
reading your
temperature. वो
book.
तासीर बोलते हैं ना, we don't have that
Right,
तासीर
right.
वाला thing.
Yeah. Okay, so now we go to the next question. Hmm, there are so many books on sleep training your newborn and creating a disciplined individual in future. But in your book, you promote the other way around, that is co-sleeping with your child. And you have
Definitely.
mentioned Ferberized infants. What does that mean? Could you please elaborate?
Okay, so in the 80s, there was a sleep Bible book, Dr. Ferber की book had come out, Richard Ferber, and in which
Mhm.
वहाँ से शुरू हुआ था. They said that the kids can, at the age of 3 to 4 months, they can be made to sleep in another room, and you can sleep train them to sleep the entire night, and you have to follow a loving routine. The loving
Mhm.
routine, I'm in totally in favor of. The loving routine is all good for it. You know, where
Mhm.
the child can predict, I'm going to be put to sleep. You know, maybe there's going to be a little massage. You change the baby's clothes, and you sing a song or something. But then
Mhm.
the problem started that this Ferberized infants, the rate of sudden infant death, जिसको cot death बोलते हैं, that started
Mhm.
increasing. And
Okay.
then what they said कि Ferberized infants का क्या था कि वो लोग को थका थका के they would go into a defeated sleep on their tummies. ठीक है, एंड
Okay.
उससे यहाँ पे प्रेशर आता था गर्दन पे, द
Right.
ब्रेन स्टेम पे,
Mm.
and that would
Mhm.
cause their breathing to stop. Kids cannot
Mhm.
regulate their heart rate and breathing as well as adults. So
True.
because of that, the sudden infant death started. And then after that, in the 90s, they had to make the baby sleep on the back. Okay, that was the back to
Mhm.
sleep campaign. And
Right.
still the baby's in another room, by the way, the nursery,
Mhm.
and still the baby's in another room, and the mothers lose out on breastfeeding because of this practice, because the motivation to get up. Okay, you're a mom, you know how babies are.
Yes,
Like
how
the
it is.
minute you put them down, they'll just scream, mom bhag
True.
gayi. So it is very exhausting for a mother to breastfeed. जाके चेयर पे ब्रेस्ट फीड करो, फिर बच्चे को सुलाओ, फिर निकलो, फिर वो बच्चा फिर से रोएगा, फिर निकलो, बच्चा फिर से रोएगा. That is the cycle with every baby. So what I wanted to say is, like, make your life easier, माँ. दूसरे रूम में सुला के कोई life easy नहीं होने वाला है. एक तो the
Yeah.
breastfeeding will stop. The
Mhm.
breastfeeding will automatically get hampered because the husband will step in. Pumped milk है या फिर formula milk है. The husband will have to
Problem.
step in, or the partner, or whoever is there to take care of it.
Mhm.
They will
Mhm.
step in. Or the other thing is, the bonding takes a hit. In fact, in the night, the bonding hormones are more. The mother's breast will get scared up. So it becomes a vicious cycle. That's what I wanted to get at.
Mhm.
And the back to sleep campaign is another nuisance. The
Mhm.
backs are flat because babies can't roll over. बच्चों को roll
Yeah,
over
they
करना
can't
नहीं
roll
आता.
it. Mhm.
Yeah, babies cannot roll over. And then what next? Babies cannot roll over, flat heads. And that hampers baby's development, speech development, and everything. And we were missing out on that. Now it's a safe to sleep campaign. So really, science does not make up its mind. बच्चे को करना कैसा है, कैसे पेट पे सुलाना है, पीठ पे सुलाना है, अभी बाजू में सुलाना है, तकिए के साथ सुलाना है, तकिए के बगल सुलाना है, क्या करना है? So simple thing is, make the baby sleep next to you. Sits does not happen because of the baby sleeping next to you. It does not happen because of that. Even suffocation of the child does not happen as long as the baby is not sleeping on the pillow and you hit your breast level. Okay,
Right.
your breathing will regulate the child's breathing. The baby will not go into the deep sleep of SIDS. जो cot death का जो एकदम deep sleep होता है.
Deep sleep.
Oh,
True.
we have some
And the baby
sleep.
feels the mom.
Yes, the bonding is better, and the breastfeeding goes on for long. And trust me, a mother whose bacha is a little big, 3-4 months ka, if you and she's co-sleeping, you know what will she say? Like, hum to khule pade rehte hain. By morning, the
Uh,
baby will feel feet. My mother doesn't even have to sit up, and that's why I
right.
encourage my patients to lie down next to your baby and learn to feed, because the backache because of this thing,
That feeding
sitting and feeding.
position.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a nightmare. Lower backache.
Nightmare.
So please lie down, take care of your back also, and aram se so.
Great, great. Very, very informative. And now, when I was reading the book, at one point of time, I was really smiling. And you even mentioned earlier also about a child in the womb being like an alien. Of course, it's a foreign body and it's an alien. But you are referring to your newborn son as an alien. Why an alien?
Well, I can see my kids as they are. You know, I have that sense of humor, very messed up sense of humor. But the thing is, Actually, मेरे बेटे को he had jaundice and
Okay.
it didn't. It went on. See, that brings me to another problem. Doctors don't get the same care as patients. We are kind of ignored, and our brain obviously after हमारा दिमाग चलता ही as a doctor. Moon will get more than enough. So why I said he was amazing because he got jaundice. He was not able to follow up because I'm a doctor. The doctor को ज़्यादा information नहीं देते हैं. And one second. Uh, Sorry. Yeah. So the thing about it is, my son, he was jaundiced. उसको हम धूप में डालते थे. He got a little sunburnt. His jaundice did not come down also, and he started looking very malnourished. His growth was not proper. There was like a lot of issues over there. But of course, I love him. There's an Andhra saying, uh, "Kaki pilla, kaki muddu," which means "कौवे का बच्चा
Okay.
कौवा को प्यारा."
Right.
Most beautiful thing. No doubt about it. Your child is the most beautiful thing. I thought,
Most
oh, my
beautiful.
baby is so beautiful. And when he became 6 months old, when he became actually beautiful, that time I'm like, I would see his old pictures like, huh, okay, what is this like alien from Mars? So
But actually, if you look at the developmental stage of a baby, uh, I think there's something wrong. Yeah,
hello.
you're back. Yeah, you're back. So what I was saying that actually, when we look at the development stages of a baby in the womb, they actually that it looks like a tadpole, like first it's a tadpole, then it grows, then there is a large head and a small body and small hands. Of course,
In
I was
fact,
referring to
evolution
that when
detail na.
in the
हाँ.
movie you were talking about. So I got confused. Understood now. Yes, now it's clear. So
हाँ बाहर भी आके
next
ऐसे कोई हुस्न परी नहीं पैदा होते. Everyone has a cute baby अपने लिए, but the real cuteness जो होता है, that only the mother, grandmoms they can see. Other people are
yes,
like, oh, okay, cute. You know, they'll go say that and go.
true. So now we are coming to the basic instinct, the maternal instinct of breastfeeding and the myths around breastfeeding in public. It's a taboo in our country. Like you cannot, if you are breastfeeding in public, बहुत बड़ी बात है. So it
Yeah.
should, what do you say? What's your say about it?
I think I don't understand what is the big deal about breastfeeding. Not for the reason कि मैं कोई feminazi हूँ, equal rights or something. I'm just telling कि breastfeeding में ज़्यादा breast दिखता भी नहीं है. If people honestly get offended on seeing the breast, I totally get you. But why I don't know why people don't talk about it. If you wear a kurta or a t-shirt and ऊपर से zip मत खोलो, आप कुर्ते को बस lift करके बच्चे को latch करा दो. The baby's head will cover the breast. Obviously, the breast will be in the baby's mouth. The upper half will be covered by the top. You don't need an extra dupatta. And the baby's body, the remaining part, your own arm will cover the rest of your body. So I don't think there's anything to be of. Even if people get offended, ठीक है यार, we can't change anyone's mentality. They get offended,
The
fine.
problem
But
is
if a woman
a
sits
woman
like that, slip it
yeah.
up.
नहीं
And in
swimsuit में तो
fact,
very acceptable है.
हाँ, swimsuit is like,
हाँ,
yes.
yes.
Swimsuit
But अगर
is
breastfeed कर रहा है
empowering.
तो it's
Breastfeeding is not empowering. Yeah, and
yes.
swimsuit also, see, it's up to you, right? It's up to the person. Swimsuit पहनना, we are not telling कि swimsuit पहनना गलत बात है. हम बस बोले breastfeeding करना गलत बात नहीं है.
हाँ,
So
वो
I'm
गलत
just like
नहीं है.
getting clarity. वो जरा भी गलत
Absolutely.
नहीं है. In fact, I come from a Muslim family. Okay? And हमारे यहाँ थोड़ा पर्दा का थोड़ा ज़्यादा concept रहता है. And my mother-in-law is probably one of the most progressive women I know. Very progressive. हम लोग restaurant जाते थे and remember clearly that we were sitting in one restaurant which had like a divan, and over there my father-in-law is sitting across the table, my mom-in-law is there, my husband, my older son is there, and my baby's in my lap, and she had to breastfeed. All I did was my mom was like, दूध पिला दो बच्ची को, and I just turned like थोड़ा बहुत, just like out of respect. Okay, just turned thoda bahut and started feeding. And we used to usually take the corner tables always because I had to feed. So I would just turn and feed. You can easily make out there's a woman breastfeeding. Everyone on the table was nonchalant, like, okay, baby bhi khana kha rahi hai. And I just love that kind of support that we got.
That's great.
Like the,
That's very great of them.
and nobody in my family was like, "अरे हाँ दूध पिला रही, गाड़ी में जाके पिलाओ, टॉयलेट में जाके पिलाओ."
Mm.
टॉयलेट में जाके पिलाओ is like the
So
worst
this
thing.
revolution is required in our country. Yes, we
Seriously,
need
that
it.
is
We need
really
people, and
needed.
we need this awareness. We need this awareness. So again, to breastfeeding, I'm coming to the same thing. And the formula feed revolution in the 1930s, it simplified postpartum care. But what, according to you, brought us back to the basics of breastfeeding now?
See, देखो वही मैं बोलती हूँ ये वेस्टर्न मेडिसिन में बहुत वो है. Okay, hi everyone on Instagram, Soumya, Arshad, hi everyone. Okay, they're all saying hi, so I'm just saying hi. Yeah, so the thing is, in like around the early part of in the 1900s, formula came. Initially, it was really bad. There was a lot of malnourishment happening because one guy called Liebig, he decided कि बस protein, carbohydrate और fat है खाने में और कुछ नहीं उसके साथ. So they would make a concoction of such a concoction of बच्चे को दे दिए, and the baby would not, he would not grow properly. There would be malnourishment के signs. Then they worked on it, and the formula started getting better. And this is when the World War II got over, and they needed women in the workforce. So the formula आया, and we were so happy. We मतलब women were so happy to get out of the thing. तब तो आके बोलेंगे नहीं maternity break ऐसा कुछ तो बोलने नहीं वाले. That time like we're just joining, right? So formula was a boon for them. And that time we didn't even know breastfeeding is so much more superior than formula. And the babies obviously were chubbier. And there was this big campaign, by these formula manufacturers, a huge campaign where what they were very smart people. They did not come and directly call the doctors ki said ki aao formula do. They made growth charts. Okay, for those people who don't know what a growth chart is, time रहता है, बच्चे का weight रहता है, you make a chart, so you come to know बच्चा बराबर grow हो रहा है. You must have, if the parents know that they have a growth in the chart. So
3
they
months
made
में
growth
इतना weight,
charts.
6 months में इतना weight.
हाँ. Formula fed babies are obese compared to breastfed babies. And those cheeks were like, wow, very good. अब वही लोगों को heart disease और blood pressure है because the fat cells deposited बचपन में they carry on. That puts you at a risk for diabetes and all. So those things started coming into the limelight, and then that is a story in the West. Whereas in India, this came along with globalization and liberalization. जब हुआ 90s में, that's when formula came into our lives. उससे पहले तो every mother used to get breast milk. है ना, बच्चा पैदा तो उसको माँ का दूध ही चाहिए. कौन सी चीज?
But there are patients, there are times when the breastfeed is not enough. Like women say that बच्चे का पेट नहीं भर रहा है, या the mother comes and says, अरे I used to leak, तुम्हारी तो leak नहीं हो रही है breast, तुम पेट नहीं भर रहा है, इसको formula feed दे दो. So
yeah, that's
that
true. That happens a lot. In fact, I made a video on dry sucking. See, big problem is the first 2 days mother does not get milk. Okay, the mother will get few drops of milk, and that's perfectly normal. That's perfectly normal. And we are not educated that way. बच्चे का क्या है, कितना पेट है? 7 ml का पेट है, पता है? 7 ml, that's like 1.5 teaspoon. And the mother will get that much milk on the first day. She will get, if the baby is brought to her breast. उतना दूध आया, अरे दूध नहीं आ रहा है, अरे gush नहीं हो रहा है. The gushing starts after 3, 4, 6 days.
4 days.
Some people take 1 week to gush. Exactly, because demand रहेगा तभी supply आएगा. And that, I'm not saying that people are not educated. Even doctors are not educated about this.
True.
Did you ever study that about these types of lactation? None of us studied that in college. We're educated about these things. Lactation and nutrition is very हमारा काम नहीं है.
Small paragraph or a chapter, that's it.
That's it. And that too, they won't talk about dry sucking. They won't talk about nipple cracks. Nipple cracks, I had read pediatrics में nipple cracks होते हैं. Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay, fine. And I got it like firsthand. It is the worst pain in the world. So the thing is, people will come and tell you कि अरे तुम्हारा दूध leak हो रहा है, मेरा दूध बहुत leak हो रहा है. Leakage is not a sign of not getting milk. Leakage is not at all. Leakage is the body adjusting to the baby's growing demand. Okay, and some mothers they leak till 6 months also. And some moms, they take 2 weeks to adjust and they don't leak after that. So leakage, it's not like कि टंकी भरी है तो ही पानी आएगा. It's not that. You cannot look at the breast and say कि अंदर कितना दूध है. In fact, I'll tell you about one patient. उसको आके I had mentioned it this long back. उसको आके बोले, अरे your breasts are so small, तुमको दूध आ रहा है? Literally,
Mm-hmm.
her milk dropped off the next day. She really struggled. So,
Stress,
these
stress.
comments really, we start believing in them. Like, oh my God, aa raha hai ki nahi aa raha hai? And, the more you fight,
Mm-hmm.
nahi, mujhe to aa hi raha hai, it doesn't work because we are so new to everything. It's really difficult when people
So
come and
just
say
don't give
negative things
up.
to us.
Don't give up if you have a problem. Consult
Don't give
your
up, get
doctor.
lactation consultant. Consult a lactation consultant. In fact, if you're pregnant and you're watching this, if you're planning a baby, please have a rapport with your lactation consultant the way you have with a pediatrician and gynecologist all throughout pregnancy. You need to prepare your breast for lactation from the 7th month, 8th month start ho sakta hai. So please
Mhm.
get support from the start. Find a lactation consultant. That is very important.
Great, great message. So now we move to the next question. You have touched the subconscious level of matriarchy so deeply, focusing on the behavior of a mom and daughter-in-law relationship, or rather even a mom and a daughter relationship. I know you share a wonderful bond with your mom-in-law. Would you like to give any message to the present age new moms on maintaining a good equation with elders in the family regarding this advice for nurturing children?
Yeah, so see, this is the aim of my book. The aim of my book was we millennial moms, we were lost. We are still lost. हम ना इधर के हैं, हम we are not completely empowered, we are not completely independent, and we are not completely free from the joint family setup. अगर आप न्यूक्लियर फैमिली में भी हो, it will become a makeshift joint family by somebody or the other coming and watching you, like they coming to help you out. But the problem over here is we have this mindset ki Are, she's coming, oh my god. If we open our minds a little, that she will be helpful. The wisdom that she has is wisdom. It is not just nagging, although it might sound like nagging to you. And we are very independent, we don't like to hear stuff from people. पसंद नहीं है हमको, that's okay. That's how we have grown, that's how we flourish at the workplace. But we need to realize कि they're trying to do well for us. So मेरे book का aim है is to stop the stress an urban woman goes through because of the conflicting advice. Internet कुछ बोल रहा है, ये book कुछ बोल रही है, मेरी सास कुछ बोल रही है, मेरी माँ कुछ बोल रही है. I wanted to bridge that gap. I wanted to try to like it's okay, learn to forgive them. There is probably some gold in the advice you're getting. So you need to open your mind a little bit and please understand her viewpoint, what she's trying to do. Every time your elder, whoever it is, she's not a control freak. She's also a
Mhm.
mother. She cares deeply for the grandkid that is there. She cares deeply for you. Maybe the way she's giving you the message आपको पसंद नहीं आएगा. उसने मुझे ताना मार दिया,
Mhm.
उन्होंने मुझे ऐसा बोल दिया. So I was trying to justify them and make see, we cannot change anyone's behavior. I tell them this is how you come to terms with it. This is where you draw the line कि ये accept नहीं करना है. Like when they come and tell you formula, formula, formula. So I don't
Ah,
support the granny formula ही देना है. And I also talk about कि see मालिश है, कान को cover करना है, छिल्ला है. These things are correct. But there are certain
mhm.
things like some certain practices where पानी नहीं देते हैं माँ को. They give her only
हाँ,
milk. They
पीने को
say
पानी नहीं
if you
देते हैं,
drink,
1 हफ्ता पानी नहीं,
हाँ,
दूध
exactly.
पतला हो जाएगा.
If you drink water, your milk will get dilute. So I wanted to show that everything they say is also not correct. We need to strike a
Mhm.
balance, and that's where I try to help the mother, the new mother.
Mhm.
Ki, you need to learn to let go a little bit, learn to loosen the reins a bit, because we as women, we all of us have become type A. This entire generation is type A. We want everything perfect on time. Even if you're sloppy, we want the sloppiness on time. It's like that. We're very particular about those things, and we don't give control to anyone. But that this is the time you have to let it go, get help, understand what places they're coming from, understand their intention rather than just the words, and as always have your support system.
True. Yeah, good. So, like we see that when a woman is going through her pregnancy, there are a lot of changes in her body. They gain weight,
Yes.
the hips are getting broader, the tummy is growing.
Yes.
And that is the time I think when the body shaming starts. मोटी हो रही है, मोटी नहीं हो रही है, पतली हो गई, ये मत पहनो, वो मत
Really.
पहनो, all this goes on, right?
There's
So
really
what
no
is your
winning. There's
it
really no
affects
winning.
it affects the mental health. So you have
Definitely, it
also,
really affects the mental
yeah,
health. I mentioned a couple of stories of women who had एक को face पे patchiness आ गई थी and उसका precious pregnancy था. She conceived with a lot of difficulty. And the other thing was, yeah, sorry. The other thing was difficulties of pregnancy, and then she got this patchiness on her face. So she was really like kind of, torn apart कि मैंने इतनी मिन्नतें मांगी, इतना खर्चा किया, इतना treatment पे खर्चा किया, and I got a baby, and now I am so fickle. I'm so fickle-minded. I'm so superficial कि मुझे अपने face के पे जो patchiness आ गई है. You can get this kind of a big patch, brown patch on the
yes.
face, and she had that, and she was like crushed. And then there are people, obviously, fat shaming is the thing. Fat shaming is, there's no limit to it. Pregnancy, they'll be like, yeah, so cute, so, you're glowing. But the minute the baby comes out, they're like, oh, exercise shuru kar do. Itni moti lag rahi ho. Abhi to aur moti lag rahi ho. And it's not just in common women, right? On the one hand, people will say, eat properly, eat well, and it will help you in breastfeeding, dieting mat karo. On the other hand, they'll tell ki abhi dulhan jaisi patli lago, dulhan jaisi ekdam virginal body ho jaye tumhari, peet kyun latak raha hai. And the worst part is, the men who shame, I personally know the person who told his wife, get your curves back. He has a bare belly, he has a punch, and
Oh,
he's telling his wife,
I'm telling his wife to
back. Yeah, and you know what she did? She started having green tea every day, and her baby को पे effect आने लगा. The baby was jittery and
oh,
awake. She have like 2-3 cups of green tea, green tea पी रही है breastfeeding
yeah,
baby को. Baby was like 3-4 months old, and it affects us very badly. And अभी तो बस
it affects,
see,
even
it's not
affects
just
the
the
baby.
normal people. Sorry?
It affects the baby also. It affects the baby also. The vibrations,
Yeah,
they reach
caffeine,
the child.
exactly. And the caffeine content will also affect the baby if you have so much. And the other thing is कि it's not just normal people who have shamed. The celebs who bounce back. I hate the word bounce back. हमको कोई ball नहीं कि हमको kick करके we'll bounce back. But the celebs are also, see, suppose for example, Beyonce, she lost her weight very fast. Okay, and she bounced back. And people are like, oh, please don't get inspired from her. She has nutritionists, she has personal trainers. But why does she have those? Because you guys won't shut up if she doesn't lose that weight,
Yeah,
right? So do it on. On the other hand, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan took her own merry time, 2 years to lose the weight that she put on after having Aradhya.
अभी
उसको
मीडिया
किसी
में
ने
बहुत
छोड़ा?
आता था, भी नहीं
उसको
छोड़ा.
किसी ने नहीं छोड़ा. So see, Beyonce जल्दी weight lose करी, Kareena Kapoor decent time में weight lose करी, Malaika Arora lost weight fast. People were like, don't take inspiration for them. But these are also women. These are also being targeted mercilessly by the media, no?
Right.
Like Kylie Jenner, few days after delivery, she's wearing like a tight top and jeans, and this is how I look now. Nobody looks like that. I don't know, you're wearing a corset or what, but please remove whatever you're wearing and go easy on yourself. I'm not against celebs having trainers. They are they have to be bankable. They have to look a certain way to be in the media eye. उनका job है ये, their livelihood depends on it, their image depends on it. You can't shame. In fact, I made a
हाँ,
song on Anushka Sharma कि उसके पीछे भी पड़ने वाले हैं. She is naturally a
I
petite person.
saw
She's
it on your
naturally
Instagram. It was amazing,
she's
hilarious.
thank you. She's naturally a petite person. अभी उसके पीछे पड़ने वाला है. She's not putting on enough weight. She's not eating. And अगर भी she puts on weight, oh, cow बन गई. कितना मजा आ रहा है हमको उस पे हंसने में. Really no winning with these
Yeah,
people, man.
no winning. True, true. So one more topic which was very, very interesting, your chapter, the post-baby bedroom. A very interesting and important chapter. And I was surprised that being a Muslim girl, how did you boldly speak about the sexual life after childbirth?
Because that's what I told you, right? I come in a progressive family, and I have tried to make it as professional and as light-hearted as I could. And but being a Muslim girl, that this is the thing, right? Most Muslim women, they would want to go to a lady doctor. They want to get advice from a lady doctor. Even myself, I would prefer a female gynecologist rather than a male one. एंड द थिंग इज, अगर मुस्लिम लेडी डॉक्टर ही मुंह खोल के बोलेगी नहीं कि ऐसा करो, गेट ऑन ट्रैक, कौन बोलेगा? कहाँ से कौन बोलेगा? यू वांट अ मैन टू कम एंड टीच यू दिस थिंग? मैन डजंट नो एनीथिंग. उसका क्या है? आदमी, डू दे अंडरस्टैंड women? Do they understand our minds? They don't. Do they understand sexual needs? And
Not
in
at
my
all,
family,
yes.
people know that my husband knows very well what I have written. And he had no objection. He's like, you're a professional. Your intention is to help women. And if
Yes.
because of
And the
reading
points
that
are bang on
chapter,
right. The points are actually the fears and the stress the woman goes through, and about her own sensuality, about her sexuality. She can't express herself. So that's what you have
exactly.
written it so well.
Thank you.
So
Thank you
yes,
so much. And men, you cannot expect men to understand us, and women themselves don't understand themselves. So I kind of broke it down. I, in fact, even talk about ki, you're going to be feeling like shapeless right now, very body ho gayi hai, this sagging, stretch marks. Hai. You won't be attractive in your own eyes. Okay, and you need
yes,
to get rid of this. You need to stop body shaming yourself. You need to respect your appetite. You need to respect your body. You can't like force it into looking 36, 24, 36 right after birth. And when you respect that, 6 weeks later, when you can start having intimacy with your partner, your husband, whoever it is, that time your husband or partner will be very happy to be intimate with you. But the woman herself is like not in the mood. I feel ugly, and this
yes,
ugliness, feeling
yes.
ugly in themselves, that is what is bringing down the libido. That is what self preservatory mechanism hota hai ki nahi, if I'm not out there, I won't be rejected.
थोड़े
So
बहुत
we are kind of
हॉर्मोन्स
like,
अपना हाँ, थोड़े बहुत अपना हॉर्मोन्स प्ले कर रहे होते हैं एंड थोड़ा अपना साइकी खुद का इज
definitely,
नॉट बोथ ऑफ
plus
द
वो रोता
थिंग्स
हुआ बच्चा,
टुगेदर
sleep
उसका
deprivation.
उसको ट्रीट करना है, उसके कपड़े धोने हैं, नैपी साफ करने हैं, सो यस,
Exactly.
too much on the health. So here we have been talking about women and about all about mothers. So, what I was going through your book, and one more thing which I noticed, and you have mentioned the role and responsibility of the new dad, and how to cope with the new mom's hormonal changes, how to get her back again into her normal
Yeah.
sexual life. So, please, can you give those tips
Uh,
so that people who won't
so
read it,
see
so at
that
least they would
that's
know.
a
Yeah.
so foreplay after delivery, बच्चे आने के बाद, see we are so preoccupied, हम पूरा दिन सोचे बच्चे ने potty नहीं किया, potty नहीं किया, potty नहीं किया, and then suddenly in the night the husband makes a suggestion, you're like bhag, you know that's the response, bhag, not now. So foreplay after delivery can last a couple of days. You're trying to like woo your wife, and please realize हमारे बहुत body में changes आए. We are in a lot of pain, we are in a lot of discomfort, breasts are leaking, oily, sticky, sweaty, can't feel sexy. So if the husband sees us with those eyes, the partner, I don't want to say the word husband, so the partner sees us with those eyes, then finally maybe a couple of days later we will like, oh, actually I look nice, not bad, I feel kind of
That builds
sexy.
your
So that is
confidence.
very
That
important.
brings back the confidence.
Exactly, exactly. And the husband needs to nurture, and please remember, husbands, partners, remember that the woman's brain actually goes through physical changes after delivery. There is a physical change in the mind, and she's a personality change ho jati hai delivery ke baad. I have seen milder women who are introverts, they become tiger moms because there's a territorialness that comes after becoming mom. And the feisty ones, I still am, but I was a very feisty, extroverted, hot tempered person. Now I'm like very mellow, although I'm still like extrovert, but
Mm.
I've become very mellow after my kids were born,
Hello.
because you know what is important, not to
Mm.
sweat the small stuff. So there's a personality
Mm.
change in women that happens after you become a mother. You become a queen, like you literally,
Right.
not just because you gave birth to a prince or a princess, but you literally get that aura of a queen ki bhai mera raj main hi
And
chalaungi.
this is what you're talking about, what a woman feels. But even that's what the society feels. As long as a woman, the bahu in the house is not a mother, she's not respected. And the moment she becomes a mother, that
Exactly.
respect starts coming in. So this is one norm which is
It's
very
so true.
difficult to understand. But yes, I think it comes from the society or from our culture that even we don't want to respect ourselves uh, before that.
Hmm. I
So,
got a message from Manandeep. Partner compliments are the
mm,
most important. The mother surely needs to be complimented. Yes, I am so happy you said that, Manandeep. Because हम लोग को validation नहीं मिलता है, हमको appraisal नहीं मिलता है, हमको तनख्वाह नहीं मिलती, हमको कुछ नहीं मिलता है, and it's a 24/7 job. So please take time out to compliment your the new mother. You're doing a great job. Give her affirmations. और ऐसे नहीं कि एक दिन बोला ना मैंने एक महीने में बस से. Just appreciate her. Like you're doing a good
yes,
job. Make good eye contact with her. That really matters.
yeah. Okay, then there was one line in the book. I'm a feminist, but I don't believe in gender equality. What do you mean by this?
Yes,
It's a
I am a feminist.
controversial line.
Yeah, feminist हूँ, but I don't believe in gender equality for the simple reason कि भाई बच्चा पैदा तो मैं ही करने वाली हूँ, को दूध भी पिलाने मैं ही वाली हूँ. So you can't say that we need equal opportunities. Please don't say that to me. We don't need equal opportunities. We need you need to accommodate the fact that I made a human being. I'm a super person. Super person, I won't say superwoman. I'm a super person. Because just imagine, men are already sitting on their throne of like उनको पहले खाना खिलाओ, उनका ईगो को टेक केयर करो, उनके लिए ड्रेस अप करो, एंड देन ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट इफ दे गिव बर्थ, जस्ट इमेजिन हम तो उनके बस रोज पैर धो धो के पानी पीते. इट इज जस्ट लाइट हार्टेड. आई लव माय हस्बैंड, वेरी ग्रेट गाय, but that's what I don't believe in gender equality. Because अगर see that's the thing, period leave है, maternity leave है, we deserve it. Simple reason, अगर आप देखोगे senior citizen को pension देते हैं, correct? And they don't differentiate because everyone gets old, everyone becomes senior, they need reservation and they need a lower berth मिलता है train में, you know, all these things are there. So had it been only women getting old, तो वो pension भी नहीं मिलता हमको. Just look at it from that lens. तुम ये तो नहीं बोलते इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी देना है, तो बुढ़े हो गए तो क्या हुआ, पेंशन नहीं मिलेगा, काम करो. यू डोंट से दैट. सो सेम थिंग, लुक एट अ वुमन लेंस कि अरे बच्चा पैदा करी तो क्या हुआ, इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी दे रहा हूँ, आ जा काम पे कल 3 साल के. नो, प्लीज take care of us from the health perspective. Our babies will do better. We will be safe from a lot of postpartum depression. We need to join back the force. मेरा दिमाग अभी भी वही है. I'm still talented. I still add to the workforce. So I don't believe in gender equality. This is a rubbish concept because you guys don't get periods. You guys don't make babies. So you really don't know. Genders cannot be equal. We are way superior. Sorry to say that.
That's great. Great to hear from you. Yes. Yeah. Next, we now come to the COVID times. It's very difficult times that women are going through, and already the ones who had conceived, they are really scared
Yeah.
about, they are scared to go to the hospital. Like even I face this problem. Patients don't want to come to the
Yeah.
clinic. They want teleconsultation.
Mm.
So yes, it is distressing, of course. So what is your mantra for sailing through motherhood, especially during this COVID times?
See, it's a simple thing. See, COVID-19 has putting us all in a very difficult situation. You know, patients are not, especially जिनको conceive करना है. You know, you are an IVF specialist. आपके पास तो लोग और ठहर के आएंगे because you know they're going to spend money on this thing. They're going to spend effort, take so much of follow-up visit. So yeah, the problem is they're all scared to come. So one thing is, you know, teleconsultation पे rely करो. The first visit, you can defer the first visit, you can delay the first visit, and you know, you get the pregnancy test done at home. You can't get in touch with your doctor, get your doctor, they'll put you on folic acid or whatever you need, and the ultrasound and the first blood test can be done together. And I wouldn't recommend कि blood test के लिए home collection के लिए बुलाए, ultrasound के लिए वो diagnostic center
अलग
गए,
जगह,
फिर
हाँ.
hospital visit वहाँ doctor के पास गए. Don't do this.
All under one
Okay,
roof.
you talk to your doctor, all of it, get it done at one place. And then don't second guess your doctor. कि इसने ऐसा डॉक्टर के पास जाती है. Don't do that. They have to do what is best for you. Then the other thing is, you can still go ahead. Precious spread is a little difficult. Initially, we were telling moms that okay, you have hung. Have you hung?
Yeah, not audible.
Hello.
Yeah, now better.
You can hear me, right? Okay, audible, right? Yeah. So the thing about COVID is, initially we were telling people don't plan a baby now. I got a patient who was diabetic. I said you'll have to come for a lot of follow-up visit. I'll have to keep checking your diabetes, gestational diabetes I deal with. So please abhi mat karo. And but now abhi 8 mahine ho gaye. So
This is
we're all
not
sick of
going to
corona.
end soon.
Like, kar lo yaar, life has to go on. So now we are telling, okay, no problem, conceive, go ahead, conceive. Some of my friends, two of my friends actually, they're going through treatment also, and we're like, okay, no problem, go ahead.
Yeah,
So
we are
COVID
also doing. We are doing
patient,
IVF.
be in, हाँ कर रहे हैं. We have to come back on
With
track. Life
precaution.
has to go
With
on. We don't know
precaution.
when this thing will get over. With a lot of precaution. So the main thing is, आप different centers मत करो. Home collection पे stress मत करो. Go there. You talk to your doctor in such a way कि हाँ क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या क्या करके आऊँ मैं. Be prepared. Do the
Yeah.
teleconsultation
We
before
are also
and
doing,
face to face patient
we are doing
afterwards.
teleconsultations, plus we are giving appointment in half an hour gap. So the patient has to come on that stipulated time. So that makes it easier. So we don't have two, three
Right.
patients sitting in
That's
the
it.
clinic, So that's how we are working. We have reduced our time, but it's good. It's good going so far. Okay, good. And now I'm coming to your another talent, which I don't know if, besides your book, which people maybe don't know about you, that being a doctor, you write parodies and produce and sing too. How do you manage to do all this multitasking with such a busy life with small kids?
Homeschooling those small kids also. I'm doing that also. That's a worst
Oh,
job.
that's
The
worse.
thing is, actually, I don't sit and think and write these parodies. I have been a writer from a young age, and I could write poetry since I was like 14, 15 years old. But ये parodies मुझे खुद से आ जाते हैं. Like, I'll tell you, mostly I write my parodies while I'm making rotis in the kitchen. Literally, evening ki
Oh,
chai,
wow.
roti ke time, the parodies just come. I immediately go and put it in my notes on my phone, and then I work on the lyrics, and I really enjoy doing them. So when you enjoy doing it, it doesn't feel like a chore.
Yes. And
You
dimag
know, it's
pura
a
time
job.
it's
Doesn't feel like. In
working,
fact,
all the time. It's creativity at its best. It's
oh
all the
yeah,
time working.
yeah. And see, the best part is, had I not had kids, okay, and I would have supposed kaise bhi karke book likhi hoti, I would not be able to make these parodies. You know why? Because I say this line कि रॉकेट तभी उड़ता है जब उसके पिछवाड़े में आग लगती है. So it's like, you know, when you're always on a time crunch, that's when you do your best. Because the day you
Yes.
give me a lazy day, I'll be like, okay, आज 3 videos produce कर लूंगी मैं. Okay, today I'll
Mhm.
produce 3 videos. I won't do anything that day. The day I
God.
have to homeschool my kids, I have a live session, and I have to cook, I have to do this, I have to do that. That's when my most productive. So it's like time के साथ work expand होता है. The more time I give, the less work I'll do.
Yes. That's actually, I think, the basic nature of us all humans. We go into that inertia mode. When we are
Yes.
lazy, we just want to be lazy. Great. And where did this inspiration come from about parodies?
Parodies का inspiration कैसे आया? I don't know. This last year, I started writing actually last year June में, and the first parody I wrote was अर्ज किया है. Um, I don't want to sing now. So it's घर मोरे परदेसिया. Okay, that song. I changed it to घर मोरे आया diarrhea, and the
Oh,
inspiration comes from real life only. It comes from real life. My kids had the worst diarrhea. And my
oh,
god, it took us like almost 10 days to fix it. It had the worst diarrhea,
oh,
and that song just came naturally. Even apna time aayega, that was the second thing I wrote.
mm,
Apna Sunday aayega, that's how I wrote कि उठ गए अपने आप से सुबह के बजे 5 पे हाल देगा अपनी माँ की शैतान भी रहन खाएगा. तो the first few lines came, and then I just started writing the parodies. तो ऐसे कर करके now तो बस खड़े खड़े some parody will come in my mind and just write it. There's no process. The biggest process for me is to find a piece of paper blank to write it. That's my
great.
biggest challenge in this because everything else I want to on it.
A true artist.
Yeah,
Okay,
true
wow.
artist.
This was,
We can call it
yeah,
that.
this was really amazing. I think we should now wind up. I don't know how much time we have been talking. I think we can go on and on, but there is a
Yes, we
time
can
constraint.
actually.
Yeah, there is a time constraint. So I would like to thank you for all the information that you have shared with us. And my message to the audience and to people, and even not only to patients. In fact, I would recommend the doctors, the gynecologists, to please recommend this book to your patients who are planning a baby. Yes, I don't have the paperback with me. Newborns and new
Yeah.
moms. It's a
Yes.
total, I will not even call it a handbook. It is a non-fictional page turner. You just start reading it and you don't want to stop. It's so interesting. And in fact, you have even shared recipes. I wanted to immediately start cooking and do those dishes, make those dishes which you have recommended. So this book is not about just a handbook kind of a thing. It's very interesting to read, and every patient should read it. Every doctor should read it, and every grandparent should read it. Even the
Oh
grandparents
yeah,
should read it, so they can
grandparents are reading
relive.
the book. They are. They are.
Yeah, they should relive their time and then, feel so good by all the traditional advice that we have given and you have supported them. That's important.
The link is down below, guys.
Yeah.
On Instagram, the link is in my bio profile, Dr. Farah Adam. अभी मैं कैसे डालूं link? Such a fun
आपका
session.
link.
Hello,
I
Malika.
think
Thank you so much.
CLS has shared the link. Chandigarh Literary
Yeah.
Society has shared
For
the
those
link.
of you joining me from PanMac, book is available on Amazon. I am Dr. Farah _Momstein. You can follow me on Instagram. And this is so nice talking to you, Dr. Nirmal. It was like
Thank
so
you. Same
heartwarming to
here.
have this conversation with you.
Same here.
And
Hope to meet you soon. And
thank
we
you.
love to have the biryani that you make. I have heard you make very good biryani.
Yes,
So
most
looking
welcome. You
forward to
come to
that.
Bangalore, you have to come and stay in my house.
Sure, sure.
And this is the best part about the book. When I discuss it with any woman, we form this kind of a sisterhood. I won't even call it
Yes.
friendship. It's a sisterhood. Yeah, all our
Sisterhood.
badass mom. Yeah, that's what it is. And
Yeah.
it's very heartwarming. Women with 18-year-old kids, 10-year-old kids, like the crap we went through in our postpartum, they get that closure, that validation from this. So it's very nice, And two mothers even told me we cried reading your book, and I got goosebumps on hearing that. I got a comment in my last live. I come on my handle, and they said we cried reading your book because the validation that they got, ki we are not alone. So please, anyone is
Yes.
expecting this is the best baby shower gift you can give, and especially in COVID times, this book will really help you get by on your own. It will give you, this is how you can preserve the food. This is how you can feed yourself. Because many mothers, their moms, mom-in-law, not able to come because of this COVID situation.
Yes.
They're scared. And one of my patients, Bichari, she gave birth to twins. Her household help went home, okay, her domestic help, and 2 days later, her mom was going to come. And इसके 2 दिन के बीच में ना lockdown implement हो गया.
Lockdown.
So she
Oh,
had no domestic help, and mom could not come. So it was a nightmare for her. So any mom COVID situation, may we included a chapter on COVID-19 in the end, while as we were close to
yes.
publishing, because we got a lot of queries. So this book is like your handbook. Go for it. Link is given down below.
Great. It was amazing. An amazing session. Great meeting you, Farah.
Same here, Dr. Nirmal. It was so nice, and I just hope it is not just a moderator and speaker relationship. And
No,
it
no,
was
no.
really nice
We'll
connecting
stay
with
in
you.
touch. We'll stay in touch. Thanks to
Of course,
CLS.
definitely. Thanks to CLS. Thank you, Chandigarh Literary Society and Pan Macmillan for having me here. This was awesome and made a new friend. It was great.
Thank you so much.